we're seeing a lot more, let's say, platforms integrating, let's say, AI strategies and also AI components within that, whether it is from a B2B but also B2C point of view. When do you think it's the point that actually giving money to, for example, a robo-advisor will become the norm for, let's say, retail investors as a whole?
Yeah, that's a really, really good question.
In my opinion, there's still a lot of time left for let's say any verticals or any demographics to cross the chasm. In my opinion, I don't think my grandfather would give money to a robo-advisor because he started asking me questions. So, would you like to talk a little bit about that component from let's say technical but also social point of view?
Yeah. So I would say that there are many different ways of using AI in financial markets. So one thing is recommendation with robo-advisors. So basically it's the robo-advisor that assesses your risk and tells you this is the right thing for you. Another way is to do systematic investing, where basically you systemize all the investments that you do. And then the third way, this is the one that I'm actually talking about, is to combine human and machine interaction. So you do risk simulations, and then there's still a human analyzing these things and making sense of the complex numbers. When it will happen that robo-advisors will be fully automated, I don't know. But it's an important separation. So you can be a robo-advisor that use machine learning for classification of risk profiles, and then you can still do like passive investment without using systematic investment strategies. But I think that should come quite soon. I think the applications of classifying risk profiles is not that challenging. The fully systematic investing, I think it requires a lot of good data infrastructure. So it's actually, even if you are a big institutional investor, it's actually very, very few of them that have the data infrastructure they need to make sense of these markets and trade so frequently. So I think for the risk management part, the problem is that people are afraid. They say like, okay, this model is more complex, we are not able to explain it in a clear, nice way that most people understand, or most people have learned in school. So I'm encouraging them to at least start to do that, because these solutions do exist. But unfortunately, because of this cautiousness that we have, it's not being explored enough. But it has potential big losses if you don't do risk modeling properly. Yes.
So you still see the human component eventually? We're not going to get completely replaced, or investment managers are not going to get completely replaced by AI applications?
No, I think for most investment managers it's actually a mix. So basically using AI where it makes sense, and then do some human intuition. So basically, if something happens in the market that we haven't seen historically, it's very easy for humans to assess that. Maybe it's announced by the central bank. Now we will do this in this way. So humans can adapt, while the machine needs a lot of data to do these things. Some people will go to the extreme and just do systematic investing, but I would say it's very, very, very few. Most attempts that we see now, who don't specialize in entirely systematic investing, don't succeed very well. But some are, of course, excellent.
And do you see, for example, let's say more innovative markets, more innovative financial markets, such as like the ones with crypto assets, adopting these technologies faster at a faster rate than traditional markets?
It might be. I know very little about crypto. I'm not in that space at all, but that probably would make sense. They are more willing to test out new things. I think so. Yeah, that would be a good place to start.
Thank you. Any questions from the audience? Yes, good sir. Excellent. There you go.
Thank you. You talk a lot about the opportunities of AI in finance, and I heard another talk that said one of the reasons that finance might be lacking in using AI would be that like the potential catastrophes in using AI in finance would be that much worse than, let's say, marketing or some other field. So how do you see not the opportunities of AI, but like the risk in implementing AI in finance?
That's a great question, because actually with AI methods, the challenge is not whether you can find a model that is complex enough to explain the world, because like you can just fit a huge model and at some point it will fit. So it's about finding a model that is just complex enough because otherwise you risk experience something that you mentioned, that it works really, really well in history, and then it works horribly when you live test it. So that's what I think happens a lot to most people that just say, let me try this out. So it's only reserved for the top that only do these things. They really, really understand, and I think that's the biggest difference between people who succeed and don't succeed using it finance.
Excellent. Any other questions from the audience before we wrap up?
Thank you. And my question is that right now there's a lot of automated decision making happening in investment spectrum, and also combine this with the high frequency trading that is some happening, and there's these big players in high frequency trading and coming up with artificial intelligence using it, and wouldn't it lead to more flash crashes that we have seen in the past?
It's hard to answer. I can predict if it will or not. I think people who do systematic investing, very, very high frequency, they say that a lot of the things that happen with the flash crash is some market market microstructure that it has improved since the last flash crash we had. So they are saying that it is becoming better. It's basically it's something that we could avoid. Of course, they might be biased and say that it will not generate any problems. I can't give you an answer whether it's going to become better or not.
Sure. Let's see, we have 3 minutes left. Eventually, there's no problem in wrapping it up early.
Really happy to take questions, so that's perfect.
For sure. You can connect with Anton either after, during the event, and of course, as the organizers of the event have been saying, on the Brella app. Don't forget the Brella app. So give it a good round of applause for Anton. You have this information there, and thank you so much.
Thank you.